Hey folks, Tony here from Rebel Financial. So thanks for joining us today. I'm going to talk about education credits. There's two available, the American Opportunities Tax Credit and the Lifetime Learning Credit, okay? So a couple notes. You can never take the same credit for the same student in any given year. So you might have two folks in the family that are needing a credit, but you can't take both of them for one student. You could do the American Opportunities for one and a Lifetime Learning for the other, but it just can't be on the same dollars. The other thing I want to make as a general statement is when you can, you want to take the American Opportunities Tax Credit. It is more limiting in the time frame that you're allowed to have it, but at the same time, you will get more bang for the buck. Not only that, it's a little bit less restrictive in some areas, more restrictive in others, but you'll see. So let's do this. I'm going to bring up the chart. I'm going to send you this link. So there's some good information here under education credit. So the link will be downstairs. And then I just come down to here, compare the education credits, and go to this chart here. Okay. So we'll put this down in the notes. So let me just compare the two, and I'll point out what these things mean so you could have a good idea. So starting with the benefit for the American Opportunities Tax Credit, it's up to $2,500, and how that works is dollar for dollar on the first 2,000, and then 25% on the next 2,000, and that gives you an additional 500. That's how you get to 2,500. The LLC is a little different. You can take for that one 20% of the, up to $10,000, and that's where the 2,000 comes from. So obviously you get a little higher, much faster with the American Opportunities. And then so the lifetime learning credit is non-refundable, and part of the American Opportunities is. So what does that mean? Simply this. Let's say in total you don't have a lot of income, and so you owe $1,000 in taxes throughout the whole year, okay? If it's non-refundable, you can only take up to, you can offset the $1,000, but you can't get anything more than that. In other words, the government won't give you money back in addition to that $1,000. If it's refundable, though, they will give you the whole thing. So if you have a $1,500 tax credit that's refundable, that means you would get $500 back in addition to $1,000 that wipes out your tax bill, okay? If it's non-refundable and you have $1,500 in non-refundable tax credit, you're going to get $1,000 applied to the tax you owe, and then the other 500 just goes away. So keep that in mind. There are income limits. The numbers that you're seeing here for married, filing jointly, and then single, head of household, and qualifying widow, this is where you don't get anything for the credit, but it does fade out a little bit before this. So, you know, I'm not going to go into those details because I want to give you the overall view here, but any tax software or tax preparer is going to help you with those numbers. Know this, and this is with most tax credits, if you file separately, okay, married filing separately, you probably are not eligible for a credit. You're not eligible for these. Okay, so always keep that in mind. So you need to be, to be able to claim this for somebody, it needs to be you, your spouse, or dependent. It's really pretty simple, all right? Other than that, you're going to have a hard time getting it. So keep that in mind. Skipping down here a little bit to education, here is where the American Opportunities Tax Credit is a little more restrictive. You get this if you haven't completed 4 years of post-secondary education. So in all likelihood, it's when you're working on your bachelor's degree, and you only get it for 4 years, okay? Unlike the LLC, which you can get through your lifetime, okay? That's kind of the trade-off. So when you can, you want to take the American Opportunity. But if that's not available to you, this one, you know, the LLC is still good as well. So as we talked about, you know, for the American Opportunity, you should be pursuing a degree or an accreditation. So think of it in that way. You don't have that limitation with the LLC. If you are going for the American Opportunity, you should have been at least a half-time student during that year, okay? No such requirement for the lifetime learning credit. This is odd. I have no idea why this applies. I tried to research it, can't find anything. Somebody somewhere just said, if you want the American Opportunities credit, you cannot have had a felony drug conviction. no such restriction applies for the LLC. So the way to look at the expenses here, the American Opportunities Credit will allow you the tuition and required enrollment fees and course material. The difference between that and the LLC is if you do have course material in general or books and such, it's not part of this unless it comes with enrolling in the course, because then it's part of the tuition and you get it, okay? Going back, this is simple. You, your spouse, and a dependent. That's who gets it, all right? So that's it. I mean, I don't want to go too much in detail. I want you to take away from this the fact that there is either a credit or a deduction. And when you want the credit compared to the deduction, because the credit takes away dollar for dollar against the actual taxes, and deductions just lower your income. So it's a bigger bang for the buck on the credit. So take it where you can. But always know there's something out there, usually, if you're of average means, and you have somebody in school. So keep an eye out for it. There's something there. So if you like this video, like it, and subscribe to our channel. We have a number of these tax related informational videos, as well as other financial questions, as well as we're not only doing taxes as an enrolled agent, but we're also certified financial planners here. So anyway, visit our website at rebelfinancial.com, and thanks again for joining. Take care.